Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
Taylor 500 help for all your heating, plumbing, air conditioning needs. In fact, when it comes to air conditioning, we have hired at Revere Realty Taylor to come redo the air conditioning, right, guys? Isn't that, yeah? Mm-hmm. You made the call the dudes?
We called 500 help.
What happened? Did the air conditioner just kind of crap the bed?
It hasn't worked since 2015.
Okay, that's... Are you kidding me?
It's a little stuffy in there.
You're just now calling Taylor Heating and Plumbing?
It hasn't worked since we bought the building.
Jerry will make it his business to get over there and make sure you guys have the best AC.
Right.
I mean, listen, I wilt in the summer. If I come over there and do my work, we have to have good AC. And if you're like that...
You'll be canceled by then.
You don't...
And anything for you, Kimberly.
You don't want to go another summer without central air, do you? Have Taylor Heating and Plumbing come over and make sure you are all set up where, spring, it's kind of feeling good today. It was feeling good last week. I know spring forward, we already did that, and I think the first day of spring is this weekend, right? So call Taylor now for Plumbing Safety Essentials Plus plan and save $100 on a Bradford white water heater. Get free diagnostic fees, no overtime charges on emergency repairs with an additional 15% discount. Since 1947, Taylor Heating and Plumbing have been doing a great job. Do you know that? They come over and say, hey, listen, we've been doing this job since 1947. So with same-day service, upfront pricing, you can be rest assured that help is on the way. Call Taylor. 500 help. And since spring is on the way, the first thing you think about, big old fat lawnmowers, right? You got to have those lawnmowers. Precision Lawn and Garden. It just reeks of spring when you think Precision Lawn and Garden, right? You think of those zero-turn mowers. You think of the push mowers. They have it all at Precision Lawn and Garden. They will set you up and make sure you are ready to go for the summer. And right now, they have all their winter stuff on sale. All the snow blowers, all the snow plows, everything that you could have used in January, they've got on sale now. So you can be ready for next season, right? That's a good thing. So, Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue and Webster. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. That's over 50 years. Precision Lawn and Garden.
Call Precision. No.
Call Precision today and tell them that you heard about it here on Kimberly's Revolution.
Uh-oh. What's this?
April showers bring reeky flowers.
It's a little Irish jig. Come on.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Come on. No. Come on.
Right.
I am Kimberlina, the leprechaun.
Hello, Kimberlina.
Come on. It's St. Patrick's Day.
You're not Irish.
I am Irish.
No, you're not. Put it away.
Irish.
I'm a mutt.
Put it away.
Yes.
We're all mutts.
I am. You don't like my hat? Tom
That's all
brought
right.
it. He can't wear it with his headphones though.
And
my
head's too fat.
So that's my little. You don't like it?
I went with blue today.
Right. That's because you're
look
grumpy.
very nice. You look very nice. Yeah, but I like this little leprechaun hat. Okay, here we go.
All right, we'll keep it on.
Here we go. It's a party now.
I was going to say, did we forget a part?
No, I just played the leprechaun.
You got your tap shoes?
She's out of control.
Plie?
I think we need a license to do what Kimberly's doing over there.
You don't like my leprechaun music. I'm a little upset by that.
I don't think that sort of business activity is allowed in Bushnell's Basin.
Hey, Dan, good afternoon to you. Yeah, it is it's St. Patrick's Day. Actually,
top of the morning to you, Kimberlina.
It is Kimberlina O'Ray. It is Chad O'Hummel.
Chad Grumpy Guy.
It is Tom O'Morgan, and it is Fitz O'Fitz.
Right.
Fitzy, that just speaks for itself.
It is Fitzy O'Fitz. Because he is Irish. You're Irish, right, Fitz? Yeah.
Absolutely.
See? Everyone's Irish.
Everybody's
on
Irish
St. Patrick's
today.
Day. Yeah. Ann says you can't cancel St. Patty Day. Sorry, we're out drinking since we couldn't last year.
That looks like a drunk text to me.
So I think she's been drinking for a while today. They're drinking at a bar and watching us on their cell phone.
You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning.
Hey, Susan says, hey, Kimberly, just joined. Did you discuss this the 14 and the 16-year-olds? No, we're going to get to the 2 black teenagers that set a 53-year-old white man on fire and killed him by dousing him with lighter fluid. And
it was an accident.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
They did it for sport. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, I think St. Patty's Day, on a day when the migrant surge at the border is, 40 times higher than it's been in the last 20 years, in the last 2 weeks alone. Every week, the migrant surge gets bigger and bigger. And then you think about it. And my relatives came over on
the Mayflower,
the ships in the 1830s and early 1840s. So my relatives came over in the early 1840s, and I mean there wasn't a New York City. There wasn't coming in through that whole port in New York City.
Ellis Island.
There wasn't any of that. They just came on in, but they came and they worked the land, and they were farmers, and they were poor, and they had outhouses, and so you can appreciate that. The migrants today.
Did they have air conditioning?
They didn't have air conditioning.
Well, Taylor Heating and Plumbing hasn't been around yet.
Can I just tell you, we didn't have air conditioning. I remember we got air conditioning and color TV the same year.
Perfect.
Are you allowed to call it colored TV?
It was the summer of Watergate. It was color TV. Yes, it was color TV. And I was excited. And my dad said, come in and watch the Watergate trial and you'll learn something.
So this would have been 1974?
I was 9. And I'm like,
I was born in 74.
Shut up.
Thank you.
I don't think we had air conditioning in 1974.
We had no AC.
My mom and dad built their house.
We heated the house with the oven in the winter. It's a true story.
They put central air in. That was the first year we ever had. We had a window unit, and that's all we had. And so we got air conditioning that year, and we got a color TV. My dad must have had a good day at the Ford plant or something. Must have worked overtime because it was a big bonus. But yeah, so my relatives were migrants. They came over in the 1800s. They paid their way. They worked their way. They were proud to be Americans. It's different with the migrants today, though.
What language did they speak when they came here?
English. It's higher, right? It's a language of,
Did they readily assimilate into the American culture?
I guess so. In the 1800s, right? You would have to.
I'll just remind you, you are under oath.
Did your grandparents, great grandparents, are German, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
German and Italian.
I gotcha.
On my dad's side, German and Italian, and actually on my mom's side, Italian and a little bit of Irish, a little bit of French Canadian. I'm a mutt.
You got around a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And see, Tom is supposed to be Irish because Morgan.
Supposed to be?
So, but he says he's not.
So. No, Morgan is a Welsh name from Wales.
You are a Welsh.
So I'm Irish, Welsh, and German.
He Welches out every time we go to lunch.
Those Germans got around, didn't they?
They did. You're kind of slutty, but that's all right. We like you anyway.
When they weren't trying to exterminate an entire race.
Well, that came later.
Right.
That came. It's a whole another story.
They realized their mistake of population. Tried to end it.
So I know.
I think I have to pay reparations for that too.
Because I love the whole and we got a lot to talk about today, so we'll get to it here in just a second. But so I just wanted to point out a movie that came out in 1979. Did you guys see the Amityville Horror?
I have seen it.
Who saw Amityville Horror? Hi, Missy. I love you. She loves Wednesdays. We love Missy. Mimi says Happy St. Patty's Day.
Somebody bring us some green beer.
So
let's go.
I got some in my trunk.
The guy who committed the Amityville murders. Do you guys remember this story? He's a 23-year-old guy. He told police that he heard voices, and the voices told him to kill his mother and his father and his 2 brothers and his 2 sisters. So he did. He took a shotgun and he killed them all as they slept in their beds in a house in Amityville, New York. Do you remember that?
That was probably Andrew Cuomo talking to him.
I think, no, that was before Andy's time. I think we have the Amityville Horror House then.
Okay.
Could see if you have that picture. Ronald DeFeo died in prison yesterday. He was
nice.
69 years old. He died at the Sullivan Correctional Facility. The house there in the black and white is the day after the murders occurred in Amityville, where he murdered his entire family. The house on the other side is the beautiful, not so scary looking house, right?
Yeah, like it.
But Ronald DeFeo died yesterday, and since the murders in 1974, and he was serving like six life sentences. He was never going to get out. So
not even for COVID?
No, not even for COVID. So the house has been on the market 4 times since the murders. It was last listed in June of 2016. It sold in March of 2017 for $605,000, and it's back on the market. The original address was 112 Ocean Avenue, but it was changed to 108 to deter tourists. Now, as a realtor, when you're selling this house...
Is she about to tell us that she got the listing?
I didn't
Nice.
get the listing. No.
All right.
I didn't get but I could sell it. I mean, it's downstate, but I could still sell it. But yeah, so it's listed again. So if someone says, neighbors said that there were murders here, do you have to disclose? That's the question that everyone always asks. And in the state of New York, hi, Patty.
Ask Patty.
You do not have to disclose. You don't have to disclose that a murder happened. I mean, you can say, well...
Don't look at me. I don't know the answer.
Patty says that Matt Clark spilled his beer everywhere.
Spilled all the beer.
So, if
That a boy, Maddie.
Matt Clark,
all over his basement studio.
You made it political. Did he spill beer in his studio today?
I don't know. That's what I'm deducing.
Well,
as we know, he just did his podcast at 3:00.
So the Amityville house. You don't know the movie, right? Did you ever watch the movie? It's scarier than Shiatsu, right?
Mm-hmm. The Amityville movie.
The Amityville Horror.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think. Is that like Poltergeist or something?
Is
that the sequel to Poltergeist?
How am I going to bring you
Is this where the guy comes out of the pond with the knife? No, Jason.
Oh, you
does
guys.
Does he have fingers like knives?
How am I working with you guys that you don't know the
No.
Amityville? Okay.
I'm going to try not to fall asleep during this podcast.
I'm going to make it my life's business to educate you on the arts.
On the arts.
The Amityville Horror is the arts?
Wow, on the arts.
The arts.
I'm just going to let her run with that.
I am. Okay. The Amityville Horror.
The Nutcracker is out.
Right. You have to.
You guys wouldn't let me read Shakespeare a few weeks ago, but now we want to educate me on the arts.
That ain't
okay.
That ain't
all right. Okay.
That ain't
whatever. Carry on.
But yeah, so this dude died. I can imagine that he's in the depths of
She
hell.
just educated us on the arts. That dude died.
Yeah, screw him.
Anyway, so the house is on the market again for $200,000 more than it sold in 2017.
Yeah,
so
that makes
they're
sense.
trying to sell it for
like it.
$800,000.
We got to work the assessment on that. So wait, I'm confused. Is that the same house side by side?
Yeah, it's just the different angle.
Yeah.
You're looking downstream there.
Yeah, so there you go.
Downstream, all right.
Right.
And then,
Have
of
another
course,
one.
you have the cat condo with the cats, and I always say it's all about location, 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 right, with the cats all over the...
You got to know where your cat is at all times.
No.
Love the house, hate the location. See the mice?
Right. Yeah, we get it.
You get it.
We get it, Kimberlita.
I don't get it.
But anyway, so let me just tell you right now about how the market is going for houses.
Yeah, good luck getting one.
So my poor clients keep losing out on their bids for all these houses.
They got to bid more.
Let me just tell you right now, if you're getting ready to start to look for a house and you need someone to help you, of course, call us at Revere.
Move to Canada.
Right. Kay Goodman at Revere Realty. You can reach out to us, or Patty Bardine at Revere Realty, and we can help you, because here's what I'm going to tell you. You have to be seriously competitive. If you want a house, if you really want it, you can't go, I'll give them like $1,000 over what they're asking. You're not going to get the house. So we bid on a house the other day, really great house. It ended up having 30-some offers. It went well over the asking of $139. It was that one I told you about in Irondequoit.
Right.
And my client lost out again, and I thought she had a really competitive, great offer.
It was close.
It was close.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
But no cigar.
Right.
How much over asking did she put in?
It was
a lot, right?
It was listed at $139. She went $150 with $15,000 in good faith.
That's insane.
And we lost. We lost
$15,000 as a good faith
as
deposit.
a good faith, and went what? I mean, 11 grand over asking.
5,000 is the most I've ever actually seen put down on a contract, and
I've
that's
never-
1 out of 50.
I've never put down more than 3. We were beat out because it went over 150. Whoever outbid us went over 150, and they had $18,000 in good faith. Plus, they were paying up, 40% down
Unreal.
instead of the
So
required 20.
asking for 6% concessions coming back is not a good marketing tool.
No. So I'm just going to tell you right now, and my friend at Genesee Valley Bank just told me that all of their first-time homebuyer grants have come up. So John had reached out to me. So if you're a first-time homeowner, that's a great thing too. So
Yeah.
lots of stuff
Good afternoon, John Wilson.
going on. Where do you want to start?
Top of the morning to you, Johnny boy.
It's your world. I'm just living in it, Kimberly.
It's what?
I said it's your world. I'm just living in it.
My mom got her COVID shot.
Oh, all right.
My mom and
No comment.
I was hesitant to take my mom because a friend of mine's who lives in the neighborhood with me, her father died, and I'm not telling this to scare anyone because I did take my mother. I ended up that someone was supposed to come over and give her a shot at the house. They never showed that day.
Right.
That I waited around forever. I was livid. So
I gave Tom his shot. That worked out well.
Yeah, he gave me COVID.
I don't want to know what that is. Anyway, what you guys do in your own personal time?
No, we did it right on the podcast, remember?
Of course. That's what we're talking about. So
Right.
I ended up, the doctor said, well, the home health agency can't give her the COVID vaccine. You're going to have to take her somewhere. So I took her to Walmart in Brockport, and we got it there. But in the meantime, I'm talking to a friend of mine.
That's where I'd go for my shot. Walmart in Brockport.
Right.
We couldn't
I mean, Jesus.
I'm sorry, High and Mighty. Where are you going to go to get your freaking vaccine?
He's not going to get one.
Mr. Irondequoit attorney, I wouldn't go to Walmart.
Brockport.
I am way too good for that. Where would you go?
Nowhere.
When's the last time you've been inside Walmart,
I
Chad?
wouldn't touch the stuff.
You're close to the Fallujah of Walmart. That's right over there on
I go to
Hudson
that. Yeah, I go. It's been a while since I've been to that Walmart, but that's my Walmart. That's my neighborhood. That's where I grew up.
So
that's where I feel
proudly.
comfortable.
So proudly.
I grew up on Earth Street.
So I took her to get the vaccine. It was wonderful actually. They walked in, they had all these chairs for all the elderly to sit down in if they can't stand up. There really wasn't a wait. She walked in, gave them the Medicare card. They asked her a bunch of questions. They took her behind the little curtain. They gave her the shot. In the meantime, a friend of mine's dad, who was 90 and very healthy and was out shoveling snow and doing all these things. I mean, the guy he got around really well, very sharp.
He was 90.
He was old, got the shot along with his wife. A day later, he's running a super high fever. 2 days later, he's dead.
Wow.
I kid you not. It's a true story.
Horrific.
I don't know if it was because he's just 90 or because the
Yeah.
COVID vaccine kicked him into
Who knows?
some kind of a body shock.
Did your
AstraZeneca?
mom get one of those little yellow smiley face stickers at Walmart?
Got a lollipop.
She got a lollipop? You know the Walmart sticker?
Yeah, no. It didn't.
The I voted sticker, the Walmart style?
Yeah, the little smiley. No,
Right.
she didn't. No.
If you got to explain a joke, it's not funny. Right? Did everybody else get that? The Walmart sticker?
I thought you just meant because the kids got stickers.
I don't think
wasn't-
my mic's working.
Is this odd? Hello?
This is going to be one of those days.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
That was
I
a song
said
by
coming
Limp
in-
Bizkit. One of those days.
I came in and I said, Tom's a little cranky. He's a little moody today.
I didn't know I had a mood until today.
You have a mood. But anyway, so yeah. So she got her shot. We didn't go bad with the rest of the sheep. But I do want to show you something about mask wearing. You should see all the looks I get.
Are you still not wearing one?
I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing it. My husband won't
You
go
want-
into to Wegmans.
You
with
want
me.
people to die. You want people to get sick and die. That's why you don't wear a
Nobody
mask.
has
You're
said
selfish.
anything.
You're selfish.
But I've noticed the last time I went into Wegmans, I saw a few people not wearing a mask.
Right.
And I thought,
Which Wegmans?
the one on Latta and Long Pond is my Wegmans. Everyone has their Wegmans. Mine is at Latta and
Right.
Long Pond. So a lot more people not wearing the mask. We're not being sheeple, right?
I went into Wegmans and I did not wear a mask, and a guy came up to me and said, "Thank you very much for wearing a mask, sir." Nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. My face is a mask. Get it?
I get it. It's one of those days for me. Here's something I want you guys to watch because I think it's so true now. Right? Have you seen this video?
No.
It's a social experiment on how people.
Oh yes, I did watch that.
Did you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Very
I
fascinating.
want you to pay. It is very fascinating.
Total fake news.
Is it fake?
It's gotta be.
It's not fake.
It's gotta be.
So they do these social experiments just to see how people are going to react. Right?
Gullible.
Here we go.
To answer that question, we set up a hidden camera experiment to see if this woman would stand up at the sound of this tone, simply because everyone else is. You might be thinking you'd never go along with this. Or would you?
Right.
After just
There it
3
is.
beeps, and without knowing why she's doing it, this woman is now conforming perfectly to the group. But what happens if we take the group away?
Elaine, please.
This song racist
The
or
Lone
something?
Ranger.
Watch that.
Is Tom in this video?
Okay, now she's alone. The
She's
crowd is
alone.
gone, and nobody is watching her,
She's not gonna
except
stand
our
up.
hidden cameras. What do you think she'll do?
Sit down.
She's now
That makes no
conforming to the
sense.
rules of the
Oh my
group.
God! Why is she doing that?
And then she taught somebody
Hold
else to
on.
do it.
yeah, that's
After.
true. This is how people are. She doesn't even know why the other
Yeah, but-
people were. It's like you don't even know why you're wearing the mask. Really? I mean, at first they said don't wear the mask. Now they're saying wear the mask. Now they're saying wear double mask. Go get the vaccine. After you've had the vaccine, wear 4 masks. After you get the vaccine, you still can't have more than 15 people at your house. Blah blah blah. I mean, it's insane. It just shows it's a great social experiment.
I believed it until the end because her standing up when nobody's around flies in the face of the whole idea of being the sheep. In
But
other
that's
words,
what people do. They're taught.
You
for
follow
no,
the crowd, though.
For no apparent reason. Everyone's standing. So even though everyone's gone, I guess I'll keep up with the tradition. And
all right, hold on. Here's the analogy. Her standing up after everybody's gone is like the idiots that drive around in their car with a mask on,
Right.
When they're the only one,
Right.
That's rare.
that's what.
right?
No.
No.
Yeah,
You
it
see
is.
it all.
It's rare. Yeah, but it
seeing
is
it
rare
all the
though.
time.
It happens
All
all
the
the
time.
time.
What's all the time?
All
one
the
out of
time.
one out of how many people?
You get out on the highway.
I would say
and
1 out of 50.
you go,
Yeah,
tonight
50.
when you're going. No, it's like 5, 10 of every car that goes by. Absolutely.
No.
Yes.
No.
I
Yes.
see it
I've
quite
seen it more
frequently.
and more.
Why do they do that? Because they're
Well,
a failed social experiment.
Yes.
There's
because
no
they're-
reason for you to wear a mask in your car
Yeah.
or wherever you are.
But I said this from day one about the social experiment with the mask. The mandate, the New York State mandate came down on April 18th, and the day before, the 2 days before, the 3 days before, nobody was wearing a mask at Wegmans. And as soon as it became a court order, then people started doing it, and then more people started doing it, and more people started doing it. And the only reason why they're doing it is because they feel compelled to do it, just like we saw in that
Right.
video.
I mean, a year ago, we weren't wearing masks yet. A
No.
year ago.
In fact, Fauci said not to wear one.
Yeah.
Mendoza said not to wear
not,
one.
in fact, we had Mendoza when I was still on the radio in the studio with us. It's the first time. And
Wait a
that
second.
was
You
a
had
mistake.
Mendoza in the studio with you?
Yes.
I wish I
Well,
would have known that about you.
We kind of hogtied him because he
That's
was
it,
down
we're
the
out.
hall. He didn't know what show he was coming on. I maintain that if he had known what show he was coming on, he would not have come on the show. But our producer at the time kind of wrangled him as he was getting ready to leave from another show in the building, and we got him in on the show. And at the time, he did say, and we had it in audio, there's really no reason to panic or be worried, and it's going to go away, and we're going to be back to normal.
Trump was an asshole when he said that.
And,
Right.
and everything is going to be fine. And here we are 1 year later, you guys, 1 year later, and we still are on lockdown restrictions for the most part. I mean, there are still, these areas where people
Schools.
fear getting back to normal. And in fact, I don't think there is a certain segment of the population that I don't think ever wants to get back to normal.
Teachers union.
Right? So what's going on? We were supposed to have a guest today. What is going on with the schools?
And
the
now
schools,
the news.
The schools across the nation, by the way, right?
Yeah. So, well,
Is that like hands, schools across the nation?
I'll be quiet.
No.
Get him a new joke book.
Yeah, right?
No, so yeah, we were supposed to. Christina Maley Higley was going to come on the show today. Unfortunately, she couldn't come on because, quite frankly, she's just so swamped. Tomorrow, Monroe County residents that are part of a lawsuit against 16 local school districts, including Adam Bello and Mike Mendoza.
Right.
That matter goes to court tomorrow. It goes to court for oral argument in front of Justice Taylor. The school districts filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit on various, technical grounds that I don't want to bore you to death on. But
Thank you.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Are the kids back in school for the most part?
no, they're still most school districts at the high school level, middle school to high school level. Most of them are still the hybrid model,
Okay.
where they're going to school, depending upon the district, either 2 or 3 days a week.
Okay.
So, basically you go in on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then you're home on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doing either remote assignments altogether, where there's no teacher interaction whatsoever, or you're piped into the classroom through essentially a Zoom meeting.
So are they going to show up in court tomorrow? Bello and Mendoza? Are
No,
they
their
required?
their lawyers will be there.
Their lawyers will be there.
Yeah, their
Okay.
lawyers will be there. But the interesting part about it, and again, not to bore you with the details, but
Thank you again.
shut up. What an asshole. Tom already heard all the details. That's why I chewed his head off over the weekend when he saw me working on the case. But the interesting part about it is that both the lawyers for Bello and Mendoza both put in legal papers in this action claiming that Bello and Mendoza have no authority in this matter of school reopening. They have no authority. Neither Bello nor Mendoza swore to that under oath in an affidavit. All of the school districts had separate counsel. The 16 school districts, between the 16 of them, they had 2 different law firms. One law firm is representing about 12 of them, and another law firm is representing the other 4, and then there's the county attorneys representing Bello and Mendoza. So all of the superintendents signed their own respective affidavits. So they essentially, they put their word under oath and submitted papers in the lawsuit. Whether we agree with them or not, at least they bothered to put in an actual affidavit.
Yeah.
Bello and Mendoza, nothing. They remain silent. Their lawyers are speaking for them, and they're lying for them.
Wow.
And the reason why it's obvious that Bello and Mendoza didn't sign an affidavit is because what their attorneys are asserting in the action is false. And if Bello or Mendoza were to assert that in the action through an affidavit, then they would be potentially lying to the court, which would be considered perjury possibly, which could then be investigated by the Monroe County District Attorney's Office.
She got a lot of her hands right now.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about that next, right?
So
anyway,
ultimately, the goal is to get these kids back to school.
Yeah,
right.
Full time.
Because the superintendents
it's not
won't
going to
do it.
happen this year.
No, it is actually.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, it's
by the end of the school year.
It's going to. By May 1st. By May 1st,
Really?
the kids are going to be back in school.
That's great.
I'll just give you a quick little blurb as to what's going on. So Carm Gamina, who's the superintendent in Webster, he released a statement yesterday morning, less than 12 hours after our lawyers filed the paperwork to defeat their motion to dismiss, where we called out Bello and Mendoza for not submitting affidavits and so on and so forth. And less than 12 hours later, Carm Gamina sends an email to his entire district in Webster telling them that he believes he's going to be contacted by Mike Mendoza's office later today to discuss reopening schools by May 1st. He believes. Well, why would he believe that Mendoza's going to call him? He didn't believe Mendoza was going to call him. Mendoza had already called him, probably.
Yeah,
because they got the lawsuit papers and they read them and they realized they have a problem on their hands.
Right.
So that's what Christina's busy working on. There's going to be a big rally. Hopefully it's going to be a big rally tomorrow at 1:30 outside the Monroe County Courthouse, 99 Exchange Boulevard.
A protest? A riot?
Not a riot.
Wait, a protest?
I'm not going, Chad.
A rally.
A rally.
It's going to be a rally.
I mean, the last rally you took part in, the FBI called you. So,
right. Well, that wasn't a rally.
Huh?
That was an insurrection.
She's killing me.
No, but someone has to stand up for these kids.
Yeah.
You're actually standing up for these kids.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Again, I repeat myself. What an asshole.
But it's true. How many people are like, blah, 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 and they never do anything? They're
Talk,
all
talk, talk, talk,
They're
talk.
no action. They're all talk and no action.
Yeah.
But you actually say and do. Not a lot of people out there like you, because not a lot of
That's true.
people...
Not a lot of people out there like me. Is that
Not a
what
lot
she
of
just
people
said,
like-
Fitz?
Yes.
No.
Kimberly, that's why he's on his own island.
I think she just said not a lot of people out there like me.
No, not...
Can we just cut that clip? I want that clip. I'll pay extra.
But, I mean, can you imagine
No, I appreciate that.
if all the people who actually did what they actually felt or, you know,
said they were
actually-
gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
How much stuff could get done? Kids would already be back in school, because we know this isn't being, the kids aren't the super spreaders.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
The kids aren't the super
Are you
spreaders.
saying you want millions more of Chad Hummels? My God.
And look,
I know, the
I'm
world
moving
can't
to
take it.
Canada now.
I know.
And look,
Holy crap.
you know,
It's a nice green shirt you have on.
I like it.
everybody, everybody likes to take credit for things, and it feels good. I don't want to take credit for anything. I'm just doing what I believe in. It's what I've always done. And other people don't necessarily want to take the credit either, but there are other people out there that, I'm not the leader on this. I'm a follower too, but there's people out there like Christina Higley that led this from the start. I mean, she got this ball rolling back in August
It's
when
been
the
tough
plans
on the
came
kids.
out. Yeah, and she's been marshaling people to be involved. Myself, other lawyers, doctors. There's a medical doctor, Dr. Clayton Baker, who lives in Monroe County, who's been incredibly active in helping deal with this lawsuit. It's been unbelievable, the level of commitment for nothing, for no money. People just fighting for what they believe is right.
Yeah, I mean, for those of us who don't have kids in the school system anymore, I mean, we really can't relate to what it's like. But imagine having a junior or senior whose final years in high school have just been foobarred, and you said, oh, well, disappointments happen to kids. No. This is a disappointment on a whole nother scale, right?
Right.
We think, oh, go ahead and get over it, but we're not there, and we don't know what it's like. And we don't know what it's like to try to learn math as a fourth grader, doing it on some screen, and you have absolutely no idea. And you're having to do work remote, and it's tough on the kiddos, and it's tough that they don't get to socialize with other kids on a regular basis. The whole thing is just,
disgusting.
It's sad and disgusting, and you're right. And kids need to be in school. That's full-time with school activities and after-school activities and sports and music classes and all that great stuff that they do, right?
Yeah. I'll just say one more thing. Let me tie it back. You remember when I read the letter weeks and weeks ago that I had gotten from the lawyers in East Toronto?
Just one more thing.
It's
You remember that letter, right?
It's a number of letters that we've received here on Kimberly's Revolution.
Could you tell us exactly which letter it was, Chad?
Kimberly's Revolution keeps the post office in business.
We certainly do.
So, but you remember, though, where the school district lawyers wrote me this scary letter, right? telling me in black and white, leave our district alone. They have no say.
Right.
They have no authority.
Right.
And the letter specifically said, your complaint is with the Monroe County Department of Health and with Andrew Cuomo's office.
Oh.
Right? Now in this lawsuit...
Mr. Handsy.
Now in this lawsuit, it's the exact opposite. The Monroe County Department of Health, Mike Mendoza, says, we have no authority.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And
Of course he did.
And the same law firm that wrote me that letter saying, leave our district alone, they have no discretion, and your complaint is with the government and not with us, that same law firm files papers in this lawsuit saying, this is a matter that's within the school district's discretion, and you have no right to go to a judge and ask a judge for relief because this is educational policy.
Wow, that's a fun little blame game.
I mean,
they got paid for that quite a bit.
These people are liars. They're liars. They're getting exposed. The lights are on, and they're all going to run. They're all going to run, and we're going to keep chasing them. We're going to keep chasing them, even after they open up the schools. I've already talked to a couple individuals who, we've kind of agreed a little bit of a pinky swear.
Yeah.
This isn't going away.
No.
This isn't going away. We're going to come after them. We're going to expose them for everything that they've done to the kids, and it's not going to end well for them. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Beyond the school thing.
Speaking of Cuomo, and by the way, we've got a little, I've
Do we have
always
any pictures of Cuomo?
we do. I'll get to them in a second. Well, I've always liked this meme. It's from a movie.
There he is.
There he is.
Right on cue. Good job.
You've watched Shawshank, right?
Oh yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Really?
And now I'm going to teach her the arts.
You've seen a movie? Wow.
It's Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshanky. The get busy living or get busy dying. I saw
right.
this little saying today that
I like the poster the best.
that someone sent to me, and I don't know if we have that little saying where it's been a year and you've been afraid of living. Yeah, it's been a year since most of you became afraid of dying, but in reality, you wasted a year being afraid of living.
Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Is that 100% true right there?
You only get so many years.
You only get so many years, and they go by fast, and you've spent an entire year locked in your house, keeping your kids locked up, not going anywhere. You've been afraid of dying, but really, you've wasted a year not living your life.
1 year. 1 year tomorrow will be the anniversary for school closings. March 18th, 2020. Schools closed.
I remember they closed on the day. So I was down in Charleston living my life with all of my best friends from elementary school. I have the same group of girls that we all went to elementary school together, that we're all still best of friends today. And we took a girls' trip. We stayed in a condo that a friend of mine owns on Seabrook Island, and we went down and we had Charleston was open. The South was open. We went to parties. It was St. Patty's. We were out in the streets. It was a great time.
Were you waving Confederate flags?
No, we weren't waving Confederate flags. No.
Right, Jeff.
But it was a good time. You come back here and you can't find toilet paper. I'm like, what is going on? And again, at that time, we weren't wearing masks yet. And they were telling us not to worry. A year later, our economy has been devastated. Our schools and our children have been devastated. It's been a whole year of ridiculousness.
And we have a new president.
Over a cold, mind you.
Right.
That most people get over in a couple of days. But, I digress. Hey, Shannon. Hey, that's my son. He's a senior and he's showing signs of depression. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
Right?
How long can you live in your bedroom? These kids have been in their bedrooms for a year now.
And
Teaching themselves.
As parents, don't we say, get out of your bedroom and get outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, get off the computer.
Right?
Yeah.
And now they have to be there because that's their job for school. Cuomo, on the other hand, and by the way, Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty is brought to you by Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, and we appreciate Fantuzzo. Taylor's Heating and Plumbing, called 500 Help, and have Jerry come out and see you and do an estimate. He does a great job. We love Jerry at Taylor's Heating and Cooling. And then, of course, Precision Lawn and Garden, the big sponsors of Kimberly's Revolution, which you can watch live on YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe, and on Apple Podcasts, so you can watch us there. Cuomo, of course, today's title of the show is Cuomo's Helping Hands. So
he's the guy at the Wegmans that puts the groceries in your Wegmans?
He's the Helping Hands.
No.
It's Cuomo's Helping Hands.
Only if you have a skirt on.
7 women. Do we anticipate? Last week it was 6, right? When we were here. No, last week it was 3.
I can't keep track of it.
Was it 3 last week? Fitz, was it 3 or was it 6 last week? I can't remember.
Tom can't keep track of how many women he's had
We're at
since last
7.
week.
The 7th, I think, went to his mansion,
Yes.
right?
The one to
And-
help him with his phone.
She was on his
She was on his cell phone.
administrative staff, and she was called out to the mansion to fix his cell phone.
So she's a secretary.
And he groped her, put his hand up her
Really?
shirt.
Allegedly.
So weird to me that would happen just like that, right? I don't know. But anyway, so apparently one of the women say that he compared his hand size to his junk. It's about that big. I mean, do you guys measure or do you use your hand size? Inquiring minds.
Neither.
No. Have you
I hate
never?
when she does this.
It is what it is.
So I'm just saying, ruler.
Does this qualify as a workplace, Fitzy?
It's harassment. Pen. I mean, how does
Really?
How do you guys
I mean,
measure? I don't know.
that
I'm just trying to gauge length.
I'm hung like a light switch.
But
Do you know what the average is?
of course you are.
I'm German.
He's always on.
I don't know anything about German guys, and I just say I'm married to an Italian, right? And he's tall and skinny. But no, so I love this Cuomo meme because this popped up today too of Cuomo.
All right.
And Pepe Le Pew. Did you see this?
I was like, thank God we moved past that.
Chad, do you want to measure hands, Chad?
He got rid of the wrong skunk.
Nice.
Should Chad and I measure hands?
Can I?
Wait a minute. Why does he keep...
You guys, but do guys really? Is that like a thing?
No.
You like?
Yeah, when I was like 13.
Hey, ladies, look at my hands. You know
I
what
was
they say?
12.
Chad, I played college basketball and Chad played college football. Trust me, when you take showers with guys, it's not a thing.
It's not.
It's
You don't
not a
compare
thing.
hand size
No.
to
No,
jump
no,
size.
your eyes see what they need to see.
The joy. It's their thumbs time two. Thank you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The thickness, right?
Is it?
Your thumbs times two?
I don't know. I always thought from your wrist to your elbow is supposed to be how.
Well, that works out.
I think some guy.
That's about
told
a
me
foot
that.
and a half, Kimberly.
Some guy told me that once. He's like, "Hey, from your wrist to your elbow is how."
You believe
know.
anything.
I
What-
am really gullible.
What committee has jurisdiction over this portion of Kimberly's revolution?
Well, we'll get a letter, I'm sure, and we'll hear about it.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Moving on.
No, but honestly, I don't know. Do you believe that
No.
Cuomo, as the governor of New York State, compares his hands to his junk size? But I will. Tell you,
I don't believe he would have done that. No.
it's very specific, though, right?
I believe women.
Of course.
Me too.
Who thinks of that to make it up, though? I mean,
That's a good point.
so in my mind, when you hear all these other things, you go, okay, so he kissed her hand, he blah, blah, blah. But this is,
I kissed a girl.
don't sing it.
and
this
I
is
liked it.
specific. It's, he always was
Joy's
comparing,
relentless.
He's always comparing his hand size to his junk size. And I think of all the things you could possibly make up, I don't think that's made up.
Really?
I think that some of the other stuff other women have said.
Yeah, but so what? What if he did do that? Is that criminal?
I don't
Is that
think that's
removable
very-
offense? How about we investigate the nursing homes? I know it's almost cliche at this point, but here's the thing. So they announced today.
How many nursing home murders?
There you
That's
go,
it.
Ann. Thank
you,
How
Ann.
many nursing home murders? We
There
don't
you
care
go.
how
See, our
big his hand
listeners
is.
are smart.
Yeah.
Ann is smart. Here's the thing.
Kim, you're a
Today,
dumbass,
that's what Tom said.
Kimberly, you're just a dumbass. Here, let me put on my leprechaun
There,
hat.
exactly.
I know what you were talking about.
Look the part.
Right.
Tom.
She's got her Lucky Charms over there, Chad.
I'm done.
They're magically delicious.
You guys are off the rails. New York State announced today that they hired a law firm to start investigating an impeachment, right, against Cuomo,
Right.
for hitting on girls at a wedding. I mean, really?
But nothing about the nursing home
The
murders. I
nursing
know.
home
I know.
thing has been substantiated for months now.
I know.
For months, and all's it's become is Facebook fodder for the lunatics like me,
Right.
Who are just lunatics on Facebook.
No, I don't think you're lunatics. I think we get
No,
the big
in
picture,
general, though.
right?
But in
He's
general,
not married,
But-
right? And aren't any of these girls married that he's been talking to?
Here is President Biden on the Cuomo situation. I think President Biden sat down with George Stephanopoulos, so they were all liberally together, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
here you go.
Kissy,
We
kissy.
will bring the vaccine
love 'em.
to those communities hardest hit.
The Washington Post and New York Times report over the last 2 weeks, New York's vaccine czar, Larry Schwartz, called county executives gauging their loyalty to Cuomo. One unnamed Democratic county executive reportedly moved to file an ethics complaint, fearing the county's vaccine supply would suffer depending on their support of the governor. The county executive said of the call, quote, "At best it was inappropriate, at worst it was clearly over the ethical line." Cuomo's acting counsel called the allegations patently false. Today, New York City's Democratic Mayor Bill de Blasio blasted Cuomo.
That is the definition of corruption. It is disgusting. It is dangerous. There
I
are
want to be
lives
mayor.
on the
I
line.
want to be governor.
Meanwhile,
They're on here.
Cuomo sizzles.
Do you think Governor Andrew Cuomo should resign? I think the investigation is underway and we should see what it brings us.
We have not directly heard from the nation's first female vice president, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, so
when
there
are they
you go.
going to stop calling her that? Isn't she just Vice President Harris?
Kamala Harris. So
she deserves respect as Vice President Harris, right?
A couple of things there.
No.
So de Blasio only really care. He just wants to be governor. He doesn't care what's going on. He just wants to be. Let's be clear. And there's an investigation over what may have been the phone call to county executives. Which county executive do you think barked up to the Washington Post, the WAPO? What county executive? Do you think it was our county executive?
No.
You don't think it was our county executive?
I'm going to go with Rensselaer.
You think it was?
McLaughlin. I think McLaughlin.
Is he a Democrat?
He's been a firestorm against Cuomo since day one.
Oh,
McLaughlin or Ryan McMahon in Onondaga.
And if you think that the vaccine czar, Cuomo's minion, calling these county executives didn't mean to instill fear in them about the COVID vaccines.
What else did it mean?
Let me just remind you of what Cuomo's minions did to area restaurants who did not adhere to the time cutoff for closing their restaurants.
Until he was sued and shut down on that.
He took their liquor licenses away.
Yep.
The restaurants that pulled together and
won
and a lawsuit against Cuomo and the state had their liquor license taken away the next day or several days after. So if you don't think Cuomo is that kind of guy that will be, that
retaliatory, vindictive,
spiteful, and hateful,
totalitarianism.
You are wrong. You were wrong.
Dictator.
And you can understand how these county executives go, oh my
Sexual
God.
predator.
If we don't throw our support behind Cuomo in this whole mess,
leprechaun,
he's not going to give us the COVID vaccines. He's going to cut us off. And don't think it wouldn't happen. That's exactly why
Turkey.
This guy called.
Chad, she went through that whole thing, never flinched. And everything that you said, she never flinched. She didn't hear you?
But I heard him. But I'm just
professional.
saying,
what a true professional.
That's what we're dealing with.
The whole time she was thinking, what an amateur. What an asshole.
What a dick.
I mean, I've been spiteful before. You get back on old boyfriends, whatever. You sell their stuff. You threatened to sell their stuff.
Slash their tires.
I may have a time or two.
You threatened to reveal the size of their hands.
But you call
Did you throw all their stuff out the second floor window? Flory, is that a flory? A window?
You call county executives and you say, hey, we just want to make sure your support is behind us because
by the way,
about those COVID vaccines, they're a little late right now, and I don't know when they'll get to your county. Wow. Right?
Quid pro quo.
It's called a sinking ship is what it's called.
I mean, that's craziness.
It's called a quid pro quo.
And that Biden checked in, and of course, during Biden's conversation, and he said, really...
He said nothing.
That Cuomo should be brought up on charges. But again, nothing on the nursing home.
He didn't say that. He said, wait and find out what the investigation
is. He said it later on.
Oh, okay. All right.
He said it later on.
Sorry, I'm literal here.
He said it later on. We don't have enough time to go through the whole interview with Stephanopoulos, but he did say that probably he's going to face charges.
Just to be clear.
He's not going to face charges for the nursing home deaths. They're going to bring him up on something else. He's going to get off, and he's going to go on his merry way. That's how things go. And Democrat land.
Right. Just to be clear, if I was a Zoom student, I'd be even more of a moron than I already am. I mean, come on.
I was trying to talk to him about what I need to do to go to Aruba, and he's like all over the place.
I'll have Lori call you.
You just went to Aruba.
How is it that
you don't freaking know?
I got married, so I don't have to do anything.
You don't do anything.
Right. That's the whole point of getting married.
I mean, how do you not know what paperwork is necessary for Aruba?
Dinner time yet?
All right, here is President Biden on...
All right, Joe.
He's not my president.
On the immigration situation at the border.
Enlighten me.
Was it a mistake not to anticipate this surge?
Well, first of all, there was a surge.
Where's his
the last
mask?
2 years, in 19 and 20, there was a surge as well.
This one might be worse.
No, well, it could be, but here's the deal. We're sending back people to, first of all, the idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy and I won't do it.
Saying this.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. They're not. The adults are being sent back, number one. That's number one. No, number two.
Separating the kids from the adults.
And we're separating the kids from adults. And you know what else we're doing? We're keeping them in FEMA trailers.
I'm sorry. Do we have time to play that whole thing again?
No.
Is this a freaking time warp? I mean, seriously. How is this guy our president?
I don't even know.
The guy's batshit crazy with dementia. And he just
Allegedly.
admitted that his policy at the border is to separate children from their families.
It's what President Obama did too.
And
Nobody
it's
realizes
what they
that.
accused Trump of doing.
Yes.
And like we always say, whatever they're accusing you of doing, they're actually doing it.
You know what else he goes on to say?
It's
That
unbelievable.
the kids have phone numbers. And so if we can get a hold of somebody on those phone numbers, then that's where we send the kids.
Huh?
Well, how do you know that who are these people with the phone numbers where the kids are being sent?
The drug lords.
I mean, again,
So they all get a cell phone? I mean, they don't line up at a payphone,
no,
do
they've
they?
got. I don't know.
I mean, what phone numbers do they give them?
He goes on to explain. Do you want to hear all of it?
Sure.
Okay.
What the hell?
We got time, right?
Yeah.
What else? do we
He's
have?
our president. We should listen to him.
This surge.
Well, first of all, there was a surge the last 2 years, and 19 and 20, there was a surge as well.
This one might be worse.
No, well, it could be, but here's the deal. We're sending back people to, first of all, the idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy and I won't do
They're
what Trump
saying
did.
this.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. They're not. The adults are being sent back, number one. That's number one. No, number two, what do you do with an unaccompanied child that comes to the border? Do you repeat what Trump did? Do you repeat what Trump did?
No, he's stealing
Take them
from
their
their
mothers,
parents.
move them away, hold them in cells, etc. We're not doing that.
Cells?
What we're doing is we have brought in HHS and also brought in FEMA to provide for enough safe facilities for them to get out of the control of the Border Patrol, which are not designed to hold people for long periods of time, particularly children. Get them out of those facilities, and most of them come with a phone number that they have someone in the country. So what we're doing is we're putting together an entire organizational structure so that within 7 days they're able to get in the phone, contact that number, find out whether there is a mother or a father, whether it is safe, whether it is a secure circumstance to get the child to that adult.
How do you even know?
What the hell is he talking about?
I don't even
So
know.
they just show up with a random phone number, and then, it's legit now. You got a phone number?
The theory,
Right.
the conspiracy theory out there that he's got a chip or a microphone planted in his ear, and somebody's the way he just spoke there,
Because he said-
suggests that that's what's going on. Because what he's saying is disconnected and choppy.
Yeah.
He's trying to repeat
what someone
what
says
somebody's
to him.
telling him, and it's
Yeah.
like the telephone game where you talk. And I whisper in Tom's
You
ear, and
try
then
to
Tom
re-
whispers in his own ear.
Try to
and-
remember what. Yeah, that.
Don't whisper in my ear.
Yeah, I mean, but that's true. He said we're separating the children at the border. He said it.
Aren't these kids being housed in a hotel and hotels in Dallas or something? I heard.
Oh, in a convention center.
they're
Convention center.
Are they
Yeah.
at the convention
They're
center?
busing them to Dallas.
The ones that aren't being kept in the shipping containers, right?
I guess. Yeah.
And
The girls are going to try out to be cowgirls.
according to, I watch the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I love that
course you
show.
do.
Of course I do. Yeah, but honestly, I mean, where are these phone numbers and who are these people that they're sending the? I don't know. I hear it's
Are
mayhem.
they all begin with 555?
It is completely mayhem at the border. Stephanopoulos didn't hound him and harp on him about the craziness that is going on right now, and he should have. But he played into it. He soft rolled that whole interview,
Of course.
and it's kind of ridiculous. All right, the story that we wanted to get to that should be national news, but is for some reason didn't even really get kicked up a notch until yesterday afternoon, or actually today. And this is a situation.
Was that because of your tweet?
It might have been. It might have been. But, this situation took place on Friday. It was a Friday.
Horrific.
Around noon, where a 53-year-old man who is somewhat mentally challenged had gone down from his dumpy little apartment in the middle of a very bad area of town,
Aren't
where
you 53?
drugs and prostitution are an everyday occurrence on this. Every city in America has a couple of corners like this in their cities where rampant drug use and prostitution go on 24/7. It's like an open drug market, right? So this guy who lost his wife a couple of months ago goes down to the corner market, goes back upstairs. A 14-year-old black teenager, a 16-year-old black teenager go into his apartment, douse lighter fluid all over him, douse him in lighter fluid all over his body, all over the area around his chair, and set him on fire with a lighter. This happened on Friday. On Saturday, on Friday night, there was a small short story, man set on fire by teens. Nowhere did it mention anything about the two black teenagers and the white man. Nowhere was, and it shouldn't be a color thing, right? But
yeah, just horrific.
They made it a color thing. That's all we've been talking about for a past year is black and white, right?
For 10 years.
This is two human beings that for sport decided to light a man on fire and watch him burn. He died yesterday. This, not one time, and I think you pointed out, has a hate crime been mentioned on any of the news outlets or in that rag of a paper called the Democrat and Chronicle. Not once has a hate crime been mentioned. Not once has anyone mentioned, excuse me, officers, are our hate charges going to be, presented? No one brought it up. Not one single reporter, not one single TV station. And so I get lit up because I said that the media is not doing their job, and they're not. And one says, oh, Kimberly, we covered it. We had the story on Friday night. You never mentioned anything about how the situation went down. No one did. But it's funny because you had an analogy about this particular situation, horrific and awful as it is, about other stories that were headline news and actually made national news within a 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah. So when our local media, Wham 13, back in 2018, when they did call for hate crime charges, it was over two white college students drunk at St. John Fisher College who knocked over a statue of Frederick Douglass, who damaged an inanimate object. Right? Yeah. There was zero, as far as I know, and the news stories will back this up, there was zero evidence ever that it had anything to do with race. Right? Anyone that's gone to college and has gotten drunk has destroyed something.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what drunk college kids do.
Not me, Chad.
That's what drunk college kids do, yeah.
The fact that they
knocked over a statue.
They knocked over a statue. It's a statue. How do we know that they even knew that was Frederick Douglass?
They were too drunk to even know. And I would assume probably too dumb.
The statue is bronze. It's not black. It's not white. It's just a statue that they happen to knock over. And the local news media and the local reverends and the local political action groups and everybody got all up in arms.
Calling for hate crimes.
Calling for hate crimes, trying to make this out to be a racial issue, that these two students, that the college, the president of the college had to go on the record saying that, we don't condone this and we're going to redouble our efforts along racial lines. It was a big racial issue.
It was.
A statue got knocked over. A guy got burned to death. Race has nothing to do with it. Hate crime has nothing to do with it. Right. You won't hear the call for it by anybody. Once again, big fat hypocrites is what we're dealing with in the media. Big fat hypocrites. Race baiters.
Isn't that the craziest thing? And, the guy is minding his own business. I don't know what they're not related. The two boys are not. They had no, relation to this guy. They knew him from the neighborhood, is what my understanding is. Because I think someone had said, hey, was he related? No, he is a white guy. They were two black kids. The 14-year-old has been in trouble more times in the last year.
There was warrants out for him.
There were warrants out.
Unexecuted warrants.
He didn't show up to any of his court dates. He just didn't show.
3 court appearances, supposedly.
So they caught him last month in a stolen car. And you know what the judge did?
Released him.
Released him so that Friday at noon, are kids in school? Are they supposed to be doing
Zoom?
Are they supposed to be at home doing the Zoom classes and what have you at 12:30 on a Friday afternoon? What is your kid doing?
Probably hiding in his room.
Right?
He's got the Zoom meeting on, so it appears that he's in attendance and he's probably doing a podcast.
These two teenagers stalked this white man into his apartment and poured lighter fluid on him and set him on fire with a lighter. And nothing has been made mention of a hate crime.
It was a love crime. They loved him. They did it out of love.
Does that blow anyone away?
Anytime any person of any race gets murdered, it's horrific.
It is.
Right? So this is horrific.
And I don't.
And now the news.
I don't know if any of you have ever, smelled anything burning that had been alive, like an animal or what have you. It's the most horrific smell of flesh.
My cousin used to put matches out on my arm when we were younger.
That's what's wrong with you.
Other than that.
That is what is wrong with you. But
what if somebody did this? What if somebody did this to an animal?
What if someone did it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
To a dog.
If
reverse. Somebody burnt a dog,
it would be
alive.
You're right. It would be a bigger story.
It would be a bigger story.
It really would.
So let's reverse it.
PETA would get involved.
What if it was a black man and two white teenagers set the black man on fire?
Well,
I
think we already know what that
national news, all the national news people, ABC, NBC, CNN, they would all be congregated.
Just as horrific.
Here in Rochester. It is just as horrific.
But they'd cover it differently.
They would cover it completely different.
And there'd be riots.
The way the news media covered this story, they should all be ashamed of themselves. Every single one of them. And the fact that they're not calling this a hate crime is ridiculous. And the man doesn't have any family. He's got no one, really. And this one kid I don't even know what you do with two individuals that burn someone to death for sport. There's no redemption for them, is there? I asked this earlier. There's no.
Does it really matter if you call it a hate crime? I mean, isn't murder one enough? I mean, isn't that what they're going to get?
I don't really think it's not the same effect.
But whether they're being tried as a juvenile or not, I think is probably the big issue here.
Yeah.
But, murder one is murder one, right?
I think
I agree. There's two mutually exclusive points, though. Mm-hmm. One, yes, we don't necessarily need this hate crime terminology because, quite frankly, that was created as part of the whole race baiting issue. It was created so that they could take white on black crime and make it something more than what it is. Like you said, they could make it more than a simple assault. If you assault somebody, if you're white and you assault somebody that's black, the terminology of hate crime, the idea of a hate crime was developed so that they could simply pile on and make something that was otherwise not a race issue, a race issue. Mm-hmm. This mutually exclusive point, though, that Kimberly's making is that when it does happen, and we do have this terminology and this idea of a hate crime, why doesn't it get used? It fits the bill.
It does.
It fits the very circumstances that they created it for, unless what I'm saying is true, and that is that they only created it so that they could make a racial issue out of something that's not a racial issue. And this is where, like everything, they misapply their own principles.
100%.
They always apply it when it works for their narrative. When a white kid knocks over an inanimate object, it's a hate crime.
Was that inanimate object hurt at all? Was there blood anywhere?
No, I think I got scratched, like my truck.
Was the inanimate object taken to Strong for, I don't know, to put Humpty Dumpty back together again?
Honest to God, if you're at Wegmans and you push your cart away from your car and you miss the cart corral and it hits a black person's car, that's a hate crime.
It's going to be.
It's similar to what the Frederick Douglass statue situation was.
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing. Is that a hate crime if you damage a black person's car by accident? Or because you were negligent? Or because maybe you had too much to drink and you push your shopping cart into a black person's car? Now, that's a hate crime. But burning a white man to death after you light him on fire... Forget about it.
For fun. We're not even going to have that conversation. We're not going to tell the colors of the people. And by the way, the colors shouldn't matter.
No,
but they've made it matter.
Correct. That's the point. That's the point.
Right. The color doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Unless you're wearing green.
It's a human being doing something horribly awful to another human being, which is the problem. And that's all I wanted to say. The media.
And on that depressing note,
the media has taken that, and of course, everyone's, the Democrat and Chronicle, whoever the writers they have left. There's only one real writer at the Democrat and Chronicle. He's the only real good one, Gary Craig.
Oh yeah,
Fitzy, play the Irish music.
But they screwed this whole thing. They really screwed it up. And they get mad at me for pointing it out that they screwed it up. Do your job.
Yeah,
we do our jobs, right? We do our jobs.
I have a job. All right, let's go.
That's me.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't wear my shamrock music.
Is that a pan flute?
I think it's a jazz flute.
I think I'm going pan flute.
Here, you want to put your hat on?
Kimberly, what's your
hat?
guess?
To my hat?
What's your guess? Since you're going to teach us about the
It's a
arts.
skin flute.
Oh, yes.
It's a skin flute, and it's about this size.
Wow.
Apparently,
Whoa.
it's from your elbows
What?
to your
Yep.
wrist.
All right.
I rest my case on the
That's
arts.
going to do it for
Fitzy.
Kimberly's Revolution. We want to thank you to Fantuzzo's Acupuncture. Thank you for Taylor's Heating and Plumbing. Call Jerry if you need plumbing needs. And also, thank you very much to Precision Lawn and Garden. That's going to do it for this week's Cuomo's Helping Hands podcast, Kimberly's Revolution. And as always, what do we say?
Nothing is free.
God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500